My thoughts, my opinion. Sports podcast.
Yo, what it is? Welcome back to another episode of MTMO Sports Podcast, Doug. And now we are at my 131st thought, you feel me? Woo! Happy Friday to everybody, man. And if you're not a subscriber, can you please go ahead and become a subscriber, you feel me? Because I am on the road to getting to 1,000 subscribers, you feel me? So go out here and help me get to my goal, you feel me? So if you know a friend that will possibly be a friend that wants to be your friend, you feel me? Let them know that MTMO Sports Podcast is one of the dopest podcasts that you need to watch and attend, and that's going to go out here and give you the actual facts out here and give you my opinion on how I feel about what's going on in sports topics, you feel me? So like I said, man, if you're not already, please go ahead and subscribe, man, so you can get all my you can get notifications of everything that is I post, you feel me, as far as videos, shorts, newest episodes, whatever the situation is, man. So just go ahead and definitely hit that subscribe button, man. Like I said, I am at my 131st episode, Doug, and this is going to be a good one, you feel me, because we're going to sit here. I'm going to give y'all the recap of Thursday night's game between the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins, man. And one of these teams showed us something last night, you feel me? And I'm most definitely going to give my opinion on that. I'm also going to give my opinion on about Tua, man. Last night, man, he suffered another injury, and then I'm most definitely going to give my opinion on his status on that, man, and most definitely going to give y'all the rest of week 2, you feel me, and give my predictions on the rest of the games, you feel me, and give y'all the status of my MTMO prediction season, man, how's that's going so far at the week 1, who's in the lead. So sit back, sit tight, man. It's going to be, if you are into football, Doug, this is going to be strictly all football talk. You feel me? But let's go ahead and start off with week 2 first game, and that was the Buffalo Bills versus the Miami Dolphins, Doug. And my, I can just go ahead and say that the Bills put on for us last night, Doug. You feel me? They wind up beating the Dolphins 31-10. And the question I have really is, did we sleep on the Bills, yo? Did we sleep on them? Because I know I kind of did. I thought that this was going to be the year they take a step back, that they try to figure out their identity with the new players, because they most definitely kicked out a lot of players last year. And I was thinking that they was going to be the third best in this division, man. I was thinking like the Dolphins is warm. The Dolphins always get hot at this time of the year, you feel me? And the Jets having Aaron Rodgers back, I figured that, they was going to look a little different. I know it's just week 2, but man, did the Bills look good last night? You feel me, man? It's like, when you sit here and just look at this team right here, man, it's like, who was, except for Josh Allen, was going to help Josh Allen put up points, put up yards, and carry this team. And after what I seen last night, man, that guy James Cook, he became a chef last night, and he had dolphin on the menu. He had fried dolphin, he has sauteed dolphin, he had baked dolphin, whatever type of cooking that however you want to take your dolphins, you feel me? That guy had sauteed them up, man, cooked them up real good last night. No pun intended, because his last name is Cook, you feel me? But this guy had a tremendous game and had it in the first half. The first half. Like, James Cook went throughout the whole game, 11 carries for 78 yards, 2 touchdowns, had 1 reception for 17 yards and a touchdown, and that was the opening touchdown for the Bills too. So, it was just like, well, they got rid of Stephon Diggs, they got rid of Gabe Davis. It's like, who is this offense is going to play through? And it was like, and I say here and thought it was like, well, this is going to be a lot of load for Josh Allen. And if James Cook can continue to play like he did last night, man, Shorty can be in the running of Offensive Player of the Year. Now, I'm most definitely not going to tell him about no MVP. We all know that's a quarterback type award for real. And he would have to outdo CMC, and Saquon Barkley. But it's still, James Cook look like he can be that guy for the full year, man. Like, you don't have to look nowhere else for another running back. Yes, you would like to, have another running back behind him and can also probably still move the chains, but it looked like James Cook is your number 1 running back in Buffalo, you feel me? And like I said, the number 1 guy in Josh Allen, he didn't have to do too much last night, and that's what makes the Buffalo Bills a little scary now. If you sit here and you beat Miami by 21 points, and Josh Allen really didn't have to do too much, that's a recipe for success and scariness. You feel me? Because Josh Allen was 13 from 19, 139 yards, and 1 touchdown. And you still blew out the Dolphins? Woo-wee! So I think I might have to reevaluate this AFC East. I might have to look. I'm going to give it some time because I still feel like the Jets can turn it around, because I think the Dolphins, they're going to have some time. And I get more to the Dolphins of why they're going to have more time in the next segment. But I think they're going to take some time of getting things in order, man. But as far as the Bills, it looks like they got things in order. It looks like they already have their identity of who they are already. So if they already have their identity and who they are already, man, it is woo-wee. It is going to be scary. So as long as the Bills can most definitely keep up this same type of feeling, the same type of vibe throughout the rest of the year. Now, I understand like injury is going to play a part. And most definitely Lawrence coaching understand that, the less is best when it comes to Josh Allen. All he got to do is just maintain and handle what he's supposed to handle. Don't put too much on his plate. But as long as James Cook and once the new wide receiver and what's his name, Coleman, get himself together, man, and start learning this offense, the Bills can be, like I said, a real threat. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to be a true contender of coming out this East and competing for the Super Bowl. I'm not saying that that the Bills is the team that you should most definitely pick as your number 1 seed of the AFC. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that the Bills can most definitely possibly be a scary team to watch out for as long as they play accordingly. You feel me? Because when it comes to Josh Allen and versus the Miami Dolphins right now, this guy is 12-2. Let me go ahead and say that for the people in the back, yo. Josh Allen is 12-2 versus the Miami Dolphins. And this is his 4th win, a consecutive win against the Dolphins on Thursday night. And, while I'm sitting here throwing gems out, Josh Allen and the Bills are 7-0 on Thursday nights. So throw those little stats out there, and the team that they showed that who they were yesterday, man. Woof. The Bills, like I said, can be a scary team. Now, Let's flip it to the other side to the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins have some things to really check. You know what I mean? Because number one is that defense. They got to look real deep and real hard and figure out what's the missing factor. Because I kind of already see it. Number one is Christian Wilkins. Not re-signing Christian Wilkins in that middle of that defensive line really is going to hurt the Miami Dolphins. And it's starting to bite them early because you see that James Cook was actually able to the Bills was able to control that offensive line to help James Cook to have a good game that he did last night. So that's one thing. Another thing is Mike McDaniels is his coaching scheme, his philosophy is already figured out now. When it comes to him, you know, like I said, he's supposed to be this great mind, great genius, but it seems like he don't have that great mind and that great genius when it comes to the Buffalo Bills. And the Buffalo Bills just cleaned house now. We all thought the Buffalo Bills didn't have no identity. But now we are starting to see that is it the Miami Dolphins that doesn't have an identity? Is it, you know what I mean? Remember that interview with Tua had like a couple of weeks ago when he was telling you the difference between coaching with Mike McDaniels and Brian Flores. You know what I mean? Brian Flores kept it real. So now that we starting to see like all this pacifying and all this little cute gadget plays that, you know, people are not really scared of anymore. How do we really view Mike McDaniels now? You know, I mean, I'm not saying that we be calling for his job or anything, but it's just like now when you take away that cute and glamour stuff, because you got two top wide receivers in Eric Waddle and Tyreek Hill. You know what I mean? A-Chan also had a decent game last night. But that Deacon and Duncan offense, man, ain't going to get you but so far. And the Bills really exposed you on that last night. So I just really think that now we got to start having questions about Mike McDaniels, you know, as a head coach a little bit. You know what I mean? But like I said, it's still early. It's only week 2. So it's still a lot of football left. There still can be a lot of changes that can come with the Miami Dolphins. But I really just think that Miami really got some they put their money. They put a lot of money up in this offseason to some guys that's still on the roster. And some of these star players like a Jalen Ramsey right now ain't really showing up. Jalen Ramsey, I'm not saying that he's having a shitty season so far. But at the same time, one of the leaders of that defense, man, I seen you getting torched a little bit last night. So most definitely when Josh Allen rolled out in that pocket and created more time and you kept your eyes in the backfield and didn't pay attention to your man, you let your man get into the red zone for that offense. So that's what I'm saying. You spent a lot of, I mean, not we, but the Dolphins spent a lot of money on you not to be letting that happen. You feel me? So I just really think that the Dolphins really going to have to take a lot of reality, you know what I mean, self-check right now and try to figure out, can they still take this east? You know what I mean? And how do you stop Buffalo in the next go-around? You know what I mean? So now I'm starting to think that this AFC East can possibly still be wide open now. You know, back to being wide open. It doesn't really have a solidified guy. And I really, like I said, I chose the Dolphins and the Jets to take this, but it's really starting to see that it might not look like this. It's the way that the Bills is showing who they are now, especially if they can keep this up. Now, like I said, let's switch the topic a little bit, man. Let's go to the next segment. Now, moving on. Also, what happened in last night's game against the Dolphins and the Bills was the Miami Dolphins quarterback one, starting quarterback, Tua, went down again, took another injury, and it sucks to say that, yes, he went down with another concussion injury, man. And, you know, it's for me, it's not looking too good for the kid. I really just think that now we have to put into a lot of questions for Tua. And the number one question for Tua is, do we start thinking about retirement? And it sucks because he's still young. I feel like that Tua can still bring value to a Miami Dolphins team. I think Tua can still be a top 15 quarterback in this league. You know what I mean? Now, he's not in my top 10, as I have stated. You know what? I'm lying. He is a top 10 quarterback. I do have him in my top 10. I got him listed at number 9. He is a top 10 quarterback in this league. Tua can most definitely sling that rock, man. But as we had questions of him coming out of college, first it was, his durability with his hip. Was he gonna be able to be still be not a dual threat, but injury risk? And he kind of overcame that. He haven't had a hip injury, since he left college or anything in that nature. Not too many lower body injuries since he left college. And that's a great thing. But since he left college and entered the pros, man, he had multiples. And he had multiples in 1 year, but he had multiple concussion injuries. And these concussion injuries is very scary. You don't know when you'll be able to play again, if you'll be able to play again, if this is your last time playing again. Can you really, could him passing away on the field is now, and before I get into deep in that, you can many pass away, have death on the field, so many other different ways. But now we're looking at it. This guy has multiple concussions, and it's not like it's spread out. Now last year he didn't battle no concussion injuries last year, and that's great for him. But the year before that, he had 2. And one of them was very scary, where that he thought he was fine. He got up and he ran and he collapsed. And got the guy very, very scary. And and what concerned me and why it's like very scary is because of this right here. This face. If we just look at Tua's face, man, he's not all the way there. He's not, and I'm not saying that he will not get back to who he is, but seeing him walking off that field, it can possibly be his last time walking off that field, man. And I understand that Mike McDaniels was saying that he shouldn't be thinking about retirement, or we shouldn't be the ones that's talking about retirement. But as the whole world, is sit here and see this, that retirement has to be an option now. I really think that he's had a real concern, real reality check with himself, and say, like, do I really want to die on this field? Because the next one could be his last one. And I don't really wish that for any opponent or anybody that steps on in the gridiron, man. Because once you step on that field, man, you really putting your body, you putting your life on the line. And that's for any age group, whether it's Pop Warner, rec ball, whether it's high school, whether it's college, whether it's the pros. You're putting your body on the line. And like I always tell my sons, if you're not mentally ready to be on that field, I don't care how physically and gifted you are. You're not mentally ready to be on that field, I'm most definitely not putting you on that field. And that kind of it has them thinking a little bit of like, dang, what is my father really talking about? Why is he always saying if he not mentally ready? And what I mean, like mentally ready, like, man, you gotta have good sleep. You gotta be able to say that you are all in and you fully committed. You can't be half in, half out. You gotta be fully in. You gotta be able to make sure that you're able to take care of yourself and have your awareness ready. How is your mood going into this? You know what I mean? Like, I try to make sure that my before I take my sons to practice, or like, what type of mood are they in? What type of day did they have in school? What type of, with all that good stuff. I check in mentally to make sure before we strap this helmet on that your mind is focusing on football and not anything else. And now we are sitting here talking about Tua, whose life can possibly really, really be on the line. And I really just think that he should contemplate about retirement. Now, we didn't give no grief and no huff and puff when Andrew Luck decided to walk out that door because he felt like, I'm not going to keep taking this ass whooping. My body is telling me now that I need to walk away from this game while I still can walk away from this game. And Andrew Luck walked away from the game, and we didn't give no grief about that. We didn't say that he was a quitter. We didn't say that he sucked or anything. We didn't say that like wow, why did he do the coach like that? We didn't say anything. We understood to say, take care of your body. So Tua, man, this is what I'm sitting here telling you, my guy. If Andrew Luck can walk away from the game and say like, hey, I'm not going to sit here and risk my health anymore, I think that you can also do the same thing. And I think that we won't also be upset or mad. I understand that you're a warrior, you're a competitor, you are everything that, that every kid that wants to make it pro. You're that guy. But also, my man, I really just think that while you still can, man, walk away. Coming from a guy that had a concussion playing football before. I'm not saying that was the reason why I walked away from the game, but eventually, after a while, I was like, man, I can't. My body can't really take too much of this beating anymore. A concussion, a dislocated shoulder, and trying to rehab and keep going, it takes a lot, especially when it's playing football. So I really just think that Tua should go ahead and really, really contemplate about retirement. Like, take a real, real self look in that mirror, my guy. Because like I said, man, you now it's starting to, like, that tackle wasn't even vicious, really. It was more because, your head slammed against the ground after the tackle, but it wasn't like that was a violent hit or a scary hit or anything. It was just like a regular tackle. You ran into Damar Hamlin, and he took you down, and boom. So I really just think that retirement has to be contemplated, and I screw with Mike McDaniel say talking about we shouldn't be talking about it, his retirement, and it's nothing like that. Like, no, we are concerned about him. We really just think that this guy needs to go ahead and walk out the door while he still can. So that's my take on it. It sucks that Tua has to go through this, man, and I wish you nothing but the best speedy recovery, and I wish you nothing but a successful sound decision of whatever you choose. Whether it's you continue to play football, and whether you go ahead and walk away while you still can. I wouldn't be, mad at you in no type of form. You feel me? So like I said, I wish you nothing but the best, my guy, man, and hope to see you recover from this very, very soon. You feel me? So that's my take on the Bills, the Dolphins, and Tua. Now let's get to the rest of the NFL. You feel me? So we got some good games coming up in week 2. And man, did I go ahead and pick some games? It was a couple of games was me biting my nails a little bit and trying to figure out of who I was going to pick, you feel me? But let's go ahead and talk about some of these games that was coming up. So we also got the Browns and the Jaguars. There's problems there already. It's already problems there. All freaking ready. As we know, Deshaun Watson is already is in another situation. Another situation dealing with a female where now they are trying to file assault battery on him now. And it just seems like this guy just seems to cannot get out of his own goddamn way, man. And I don't have too much to say about Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns other than Cleveland Browns, you shit the bed on this one. You shouldn't have got rid of Baker so quick thinking that he was hot trash. Because now look at Baker now, you feel me? So they got the Jaguars that's coming up. We got the Jets and the Titans. We got the 49ers and the Vikings. We got the Chargers and the Panthers. We got the Seahawks and the Patriots. We got the Saints and the Cowboys. We got the Giants and the Commanders. We got the Bucks and the Lions. We got the Colts and the Packers. We got the Rams and the Cardinals. We got the Steelers and the Broncos. We got the Bengals and the Chiefs. We got the Bears and the Texans. And for Monday night, we have the Falcons and the Eagles. With all those good games, you know what I mean? I had to dig deep to figure out which 2 games I want to talk about. And which 2 games I feel like you have to watch this upcoming Sunday. And one of the games I want to talk to y'all about is the Lions and the Buccaneers. You know what I mean? Now, I understand, like, no, this is not like your heavyweight type game or anything in that nature, but I really just think that this will be a game to watch because this is also going to come down towards the end of the season. I understand, like, yes, week 2, why we talking about the end of the season, but now this is going to be also about NFC conference wins. And we already know that these two had already played each other last year in the playoffs. And the Lions is the reason why the Bucks had to take an exit from the playoffs last year. You feel me? So we get that rematch, which is pretty good. A good rematch in my eyes because number one, the Lions is that damn team. Let's go ahead and say that the Lions are for real, and they are really trying to take over this NFC North. You feel me? And I really just think that they will win the NFC North, as I had stated a couple of episodes ago. But the Lions, the way Jared Goff is looking, and the way Dan Campbell has this team believing again, you can just really see that Dan Campbell really has this team under what he's preaching. You feel me? They understand it. They all in. You feel me? And I really just think that that's the real recipe success for the Lions. That everybody's buying in. That, and they also got great pieces around for Jared Goff. You know what I mean? You got Jameis Gibb, you got St. Brown, you got Laporta as their tight end. You got like all these good pieces around them that you had nothing can do but good for the Detroit Lions and for Jared Goff. And for that defense, man, that defense is very hungry. That defense can get their offense back the ball real quick. So as long as the Lions can also just keep putting that up and keep showing that, man, the Lions can most definitely be a scary team coming out of the NFC. Now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it also can be a scary team because, like I said, how the Browns shouldn't have got rid of Baker Mayfield because Baker Mayfield threw 4 touchdowns last week. Baker Mayfield has really shown that he belongs in the NFL. Now, don't get me wrong, it took him a couple of teams. You know, he did go to Carolina, but we already know how Carolina is. Carolina's not that good of a team, even with Bryce Young now. So then he went to He also went to the Los Angeles Rams. And when he went there, we seen what he was working. We was like, man, Baker's starting to look good under this Rams uniform and under this Rams offense. If Baker can either come back to learn under Sean McVay, or if he goes to another team that has decent talent around him, Baker Mayfield can be scary, and that's exactly what Baker Mayfield is doing. He got Mike Evans. He got what's the other wide receiver? Dang, man, I can't think of it, but he got another wide receiver there also for Baker Mayfield. So it's not like that Baker Mayfield has trash guys there or anything in that nature. Chris Godwin, that's the other wide receiver. You know what I mean? He got playmakers down there. And then, you know what I mean, he also got a decent running back in Rashard and White. So Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers has a okay team. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be a team that, you know, even if Tom Brady was to come back, it's not going to go deep into the playoffs or anything. But the Buccaneers can be a team that can fight and scratch and possibly be second in the NFC South, a division that is wide open. So as long as the Buccaneers can stay relevant and Baker Mayfield do not become the guy that just become turnover prone, the Buccaneers got a shot. But I believe that this will be a good game, and I will give you my prediction later in the episode. You feel me? Another game that I think that is going to be a good one, and we need to see how this offense really going to click this week because they escaped last week without throwing up points. You feel me? And the game I'm talking about is the Chicago Bears versus the Houston Texans. And I believe that this is going to be a good one because we already know what the Houston Texans are. We already know that CJ Stroud is going to become that guy. You know what I mean? He is a top 5 quarterback in my opinion. But we already know who the Texans really are, man, because the Texans from week 1, they look like everybody knows their role. Stephon Diggs was happy. He got a couple of touchdowns. You know what I mean? You got Collins and Tank Dell also playing a big role. Then you got Joe Mixon over there, man. So CJ Stroud is loaded with talent down there with him. And then, you know, you got DeMeco Ryans as a good head coach, putting down his foundation, just the same as how Dan Campbell did for Detroit. Now he putting his philosophy down there, and he's also a great defensive mind, too. He was also, you know, the 49ers head defensive coordinator just a couple of years ago. So you know that the Houston Texans is going to bring good quality defense. So I really think that the Houston Texans are going to be a scary team, and this is a test for the Chicago Bears. Why this is a test for the Chicago Bears? Because remember I just said that this team, it was a team that threw up 0 points but still got a dub last week. And that was the Chicago Bears. This loaded offense, remember, this was supposed to be the change for the Chicago Bears by bringing and drafting Caleb Williams. They thought that, hey, we're going to go down here and get Keenan Allen. We're going to draft another wide receiver and I forgot his name also. And then you also surround other talent around Caleb Williams, and things was going to be smooth. You bring DeAndre Swift over there also as a running back who's a good threat. But these guys threw up 0 points. Caleb Williams didn't really look all that good last week, man. it looks like Caleb Williams is kind of going to be struggling with the speed of the game. I think that he understands the X's and O's of the game, but I think that now that he got to understand the speed of the game, of how windows close. All of that running around, going back and forth, trying to evade the defensive tackle. Them defensive tackles in college ain't the same defensive tackles or anybody on that defensive line. It's not the same in college for pros. These defensive line guys are fast. Some of these guys can run a 4 something when in the combine. So I think that he gonna have to try to adjust the speed of the game, and the Houston Texans defense is fast also. They also physical. So I think this is going to be a test for the Chicago Bears, and if the Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams doesn't look too good and doesn't throw up points, we're going to be sitting here questioning on was it Justin Fields or was it the Chicago Bears? Because, keep it 100. Justin Fields did okay in week 1, and the Pittsburgh Steelers won. So the Chicago Bears will find out quick. You feel me? So I think that that's going to be a great Sunday night game between the Chicago Bears and Houston Texans. So be aware of that on that game, man. It's going to be some great games, period. Like, it's going to be some great games, period, because another great game that's probably going to be going down, and it's pretty much, I'm not just going to be saying it's great because, one team is pretty much has a standard to live up to, and another team is pretty much trying to figure out who they are. And that's my Baltimore Ravens and Las Vegas Raiders. And I will be attending that game. You feel me? First home opener. You feel me? I will be there screaming. So I can't wait, yo. Shout out to my bro, man, for inviting me to the game. I most definitely appreciate you. Thinking of me, man, because he already know I'm a true Ravens fan and he's a Raiders fan. So it's going to be dope. Like I said, it's our season, it's our home opener too. So I can't most definitely wait for this opportunity to go be at the bank. You feel me? So stay tuned, watch my Instagram and all that good stuff as I'm sitting here putting my shorts and reels and stuff together while I'm at the game. But while I'm sitting here talking about the Ravens and the Raiders, man, we still got some things to say. And what I'm going to say is that I back Isaiah Likely up what he said in this interview after the Chiefs game. That if that was the Chiefs' best, we'll see y'all later. And you know why I back him up when he said that? Because I just think that if we figure this shit out, we're going to be a scary team, as everybody predicted us to be. We're going to be a scary team. And what things we need to figure out, let's talk about the offense a little bit. The one thing, the things on that offensive line that we need to figure out is that offensive line. I understand that we got some young guys, some guys that never started, in their career, stepping up to the bat, man. But this offensive line really going to have to tighten some things up. And one of the things that I want them to tighten up is protecting Lamar. You're going to have to protect Lamar, man. We got to protect the prize jewel. Because if we can protect Lamar, Lamar can most definitely open up some things in that passing game and in that running game. But as long as you can hold blocks, man, that open up the receivers. That open up Mark Andrews. That open up Isaiah Likely. So this O-line most definitely got to protect Lamar. Another thing is this illegal formation. We got to make sure things are right and tight. We can't go another game with 5 of those. We most definitely can't. So we can make sure that illegal formation is good. And Ronnie Stanley, you ready to go? This offensive line we can get this shit together, we can be goddamn scary. Another thing that I feel like we need to get together is we need to find the right fit for Derrick Henry. And it's just not for Derrick Henry also. It's for Derrick Henry and Lamar. We got to find a right fit. I understand that Derrick Henry doesn't quite fit in the pistol offense. You know what I mean? And a lot of running backs wouldn't feel right inside that pistol offense. You feel me? It takes some time. But we understand that majority of the time that Derrick Henry has success is when a quarterback is underneath the center. And given it that the Ravens is not traditionally a quarterback under center type offense, we got to find some type of way to actually try to make this work. You feel me? And I think that Todd Monken is the guy to actually find a scheme to how to make this work, because as like I said, if the quarterback gonna be under center, we already know that now that it's probably going to be going to Derrick Henry. But also, what this means is, I'm not saying give up on it, because this can also open up play action for Lamar Jackson. And we all know that if Lamar Jackson can really become a play action type quarterback, man, that is going to be fucking scary. He already is scary once he get out the pocket. But just imagine if he just become a play action type quarterback. Like, I'm talking about play action like Aaron Rodgers type play action. We all know when Aaron Rodgers is that guy in that play action. His play action and footwork is magnificent. You feel me? So if Lamar Jackson can just if we can find the right fit and stuff like that for Derrick Henry, man, I think it is going to be scary, because we already seen that a star is born with Isaiah Likely, man. He is a star. And when I say a star, I'm talking about a lot of people, not a lot, a certain amount of Ravens fans are starting to say, like, should he be tight end number one? Should he be the option to look for before Mark Andrews now? In my opinion, I say no. I say that you got to find a way to get the ball to Mark Andrews also. But when you can have both of them on the field, it's like now you're going to have defenses of trying to figure out who do you take first. Do you take a Mark Andrews still? Or do you take Isaiah Likely away? And then if you take Isaiah Likely away, can Mark Andrews thrive on that? So I also think that we got to find a way to get Mark Andrews into this offense also too. And we can get Mark Andrews in this offense. That's what I'm saying. Shit can be very scary for the Ravens. Shit can be very scary for the rest of the league when it comes to playing us. Because now, switch it over to the defensive side on Zach Orr. He didn't do too bad of a job against the Kansas City Chiefs. Because, as I had stated, man, before, that the Kansas City Chiefs really did not really beat us with their offense. They didn't really have that much explosion plays. Now, Travis Kelce did get open from time to time. Xavier Worthy did have 2 touchdowns off a jet sweep and Marlon Humphrey's breakdown. But other than that, when you really look at the outcome of that game, we was able to still overcome that. The defense was able to hold the Chiefs to not a lot of points in that second half. So it shows me that Zach Orr can really make some adjustments, in-game adjustments, and that's great. You know, one in-game adjustments I want him to make is not to put Malik Harrison on the damn field when it's a spread-out offense. It doesn't work for him. Don't get me wrong. I like Malik Harrison. I think he's a decent type guy. But man, oh man, that he blew some assignments last week. And 2 of them I can think of is off of quick slants and open field tackles. Malik Harrison, man, you just being called out, my guy, because right now I wasn't happy, and a lot of Ravens fans are not happy with your player last week. Trenton Simpson, my guy, you're going to have to become almost an every down linebacker. You're going to have to you play better coverage than Malik Harrison. I don't know that, you know what I mean, he maybe be able to have a great practice against our wide receivers or whatnot, but Malik Harrison cannot be on the field when it's a spread out type offense. I'm sorry. Just off that week 1 showdown, I'm not fucking with it. that shit was just terrible, man. Another thing I alluded to already is Marlon Humphreys, man. Marlon, man, I'm gonna need you not have these breakdowns because you know we got Devontae Adams this week. It's a top wide receiver, top 5 wide receiver, and I'm gonna need you and Brandon Stevens bring your A game, man. I don't need y'all to have no breakdown in coverage. I'm gonna need y'all to over communicate. That's what I really need y'all to do. Because since we're not going to have Nate Wiggins this week, man, due to he was also in a car accident, another Raven that's been in a car accident. Nothing major. He just having a little neck stiffness and stuff like that. But, you know, I mean, so they already saying that he will not be playing this week. So Marlon Humphrey, man, is most definitely going to have to hold us down on that outside corner. And I'm hoping that he's going to be able to hold his tail. He's going to have to be able to hold his end of the bargain, man, because, like I said, what he did last week, man, letting Xavier Worthy just blow past him like that, man, it was just a major breakdown. And I'm a Marlon Humphrey fan, man, and I can't keep defending you when you do stuff like that, you feel me? So I'm looking that the Ravens will have a different outcome due to the Las Vegas Raiders. It's not that big of a team. I mean, that good of a team. Not just yet. I think that the Raiders is going to have they got some adjustments they're figuring out and what's Antonio Pierce's identity will be. You know what I mean? Because they also lost some pieces like Josh Jacobs, who was a stout running back last year. And to me, they don't have no good quarterback play in my eyes. I don't think Gardner Minshew. Now, Gardner Minshew with the Indianapolis Colts, they beat us last year. You know what I mean? Can't deny that, but I don't think that this will be another outcome like that again. So I really think my Ravens will win this game, you feel me? And they better win since I'm going to be down there cheering at the bank for them, you feel me? So before I let y'all go, man, before I wrap this up, I'm going to want to give y'all my week 2 picks, you feel me? My week 2 picks is, make sure I give y'all the right ones. I had chose the Dolphins, so I'm already on 1 on that one. But for the rest of the games, I am going with the Ravens over the Raiders. I am going with the Jaguars over the Browns. I am taking the Jets. I'm taking this gamble. I am taking the Jets over the Titans. I am taking the 49ers over the Vikings. I am taking the Chargers over the Panthers. I am taking the Seahawks over the Patriots. I am taking the Cowboys over the Saints. I am taking the Commanders over the Giants. I am taking the Lions over the Bucks. I am taking I'm taking a gamble. I am taking the Colts over the Packers. I can't believe that. I am taking the Rams over the Cardinals. I am taking the Steelers over the Broncos. I am taking the Chiefs over the Bengals. I am taking the Texans over the Bears. And I am taking the Eagles over the Atlanta Falcons on Monday night. So, just to run it back real quick for y'all. I took the Dolphins, the Ravens, the Jaguars, the Jets, the 49ers, the Chargers, the Seahawks, the Cowboys, the Commanders, the Lions, the Colts, the Rams, the Steelers, the Chiefs, the Texans, and the Eagles. They are my week 2 picks for the NFL, you feel me? So if you think your picks will be different, or you think your picks are better than mine, then I'll do my record this week. So go ahead and put your picks in the comments, and we can match them up, you feel me? So There it is right there. That is my week 2 picks. I gave y'all my Ravens talk. I didn't give y'all my top 2 teams. Top 2 games to look out for this week. I didn't give y'all my Tua opinion, and I also gave y'all the Dolphins and the Bills recap. So I greatly appreciate everybody tuning in, man. As always, man, to everybody that always continue to support me, man, I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all go out here and keep supporting me by sitting here and sharing this episode and sharing this YouTube channel as I'm trying to grow. You know what I mean? So make sure y'all tell everybody to go out here and subscribe to this dope sports podcast and MTMO. You feel me? My thoughts, my opinion. And like I said, man, just go ahead and tell a friend who can possibly be a friend who wants to be a friend. You can also find this podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. As well as YouTube. You feel me? Like I said, big shout outs to everybody that always supporting me. I appreciate y'all, man. And now I'm about to go ahead, take my boys to practice, get them ready for tomorrow's game. You feel me? So, as always, I catch y'all next Friday, same time, same place. As always, you feel me? Right here on the MTMO. And I catch y'all as always. I'm out.